everyone, Dubasa here. I got a comment on one of my ASMR videos to show my manga collection, and I thought I'd break this up into parts. There's a reason for this. The reason is because my favorite anime of all time is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And the way that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is broken up into is not by seasons, but by parts. And so today we're going to start with part 1, Phantom Blood. So, Phantom Blood, if I had to break it down into a synopsis that sounds totally bizarre, I would say that it is about a vampire who infiltrates a rich person's house to try and steal their money. But the owner, or the son of the owner of the house, is avenging their father. In order to uphold justice, he is tasked with taking down this vampire who may or may not be gay. We don't know. It's never explicitly stated, but we'll get to that when we get to part 6. If you know, you know. Anyhow, or even part 3 because of the way he's dressed, but that's besides the point. But JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has amazing outfits, in my opinion, and it's where I got my sense of fashion from. So, this is the cover of the first volume of Phantom Blood. You have Jonathan Joestar right here, and Dio Brando with Danny the dog. Don't ask what happens to the dog. I digress. This first part opens up with some backstory on how these two people came into contact with each other. The person on the front, Johnny Joestar, and Dio Brando. And we have some really interesting backstory that isn't shown in the anime. Page 1. There's an Aztec sacrifice going on. So, for those of you who've watched the anime, maybe I've intrigued you to look into the manga a little bit, because there's a whole sacrifice scene that happens in the very beginning that they don't show. My favorite part, or one of my favorite parts about going through Araki's work, is that each part has a little bit different art style. And I think it's a pretty neat thing because it's almost like he's challenging himself to keep drawing better and better things. What I thought was funny when going through a lot of these pages was the fact that a lot of the panels are similar to that of his inspiration for JoJo, and that is Fists of the North Star. Which I have not read, but I would like to because it looks insane. One of my favorite parts about getting the manga in English, and I forgot if it does this as well, I think in the other versions or other languages, but he always has these little drawings or sketches that he has next to the beginning of chapters. And they could either be really detailed like that one of Dio, or really, really messy. In this first part, Dio gets his vampire abilities after he puts on a stone mask. And then he has the voice actor for Dio in the anime, if you listen to it subbed, not dubbed, is really cool and very iconic. The second volume we have here is that of Baron Zabelli, or Will Anthony. I can't read it backwards. Will Antonio Zabelli, who is the sidekick minor antagonist, that being Bluford. He's a dead soldier that got resurrected by Dio. These vampire abilities that Araki gave the character are utterly bizarre. I'm here all night. Oh, if we just open some of these, let me see if I can find a good page or a colored page, because there's very few pages that are colored. Here's one. This page right here of Jonathan Sabelli and that third guy in the back. His name is Speedwagon. R-E-O, Speedwagon. Yes, he's named after the band. Almost every single thing in this, character-wise, is named after a band, which I think is really cool, because if you get the reference, it's really, you know, like, I get where you're coming from. But on the flip side, if you don't know the song or the artist, then you can go listen to them and find the music that Araki, the author, was, you know, listening to at that time, as well as what he was using as the mold, if you will, for the character. Also, for those of you, Speedwagon is best mom or girlfriend. I forgot. There's like an inside joke with Speedwagon being the best side character, because he is. Oof. We also have some real world shenanigans going on, like Jack the Ripper makes an appearance, because this does take place in England in the 1800s. Let's see if I can find a really nice page here. Oh, this one's kind of got some aura to it. This is like you and your homie when you guys pull up to the function. We kind of have that kind of aura. And finally, to end off Phantom Blood, aka Part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we have Volume 3 with Diego Brando on it, this time as a vampire. If you remember earlier, I said that he might be gay. It's your decision. Pause. Okay, resume. On the back we have Jonathan Joestar, but this time he's taking a pose. A JoJo pose, which is a thing, by the way. Anytime that you see someone on Vogue posing, or on some fashion magazine, it is most likely going to be, in one way or another, a JoJo pose. Also, another thing, JoJo has a lot of references. So much, in fact, that, you know, there's the songs themselves that I mentioned earlier for the name convention of characters or abilities. City ambience. There's also, though, other references that are memes, if you will, or inside jokes, such as punching a frog, but it doesn't hurt the frog, it actually hurts the rock that's underneath them. Or, for those of you who want me to say it, sorry for the chair squeaking, Konodilda. Konodilda. If we get into this book here, this rounds out the final chapters of Phantom Blood. And let's see here, I found a colored page. Let me flip. We keep flipping. Okay, I guess they just did orange. I forgot about that. They didn't do all color. Wow, that guy doesn't have a face. I'm gonna show that one. Very menacing. I don't remember a lot of who these characters are. I have to go back and read them sometime. More city ambience. Let's see here. Oh, there's a good one. Oh, we got an iconic one there too. Hold up. This one is absolute heat. It's a face-off. And they're so well detailed. I love it. I love it a lot. Let me see if I can flip through this page to show the other one here. This one. This is a very iconic pose. You have Jonathan Joestar striking a leg. But look at the detail on these zombie figures. These are apparently supposed to be zombies. I don't know how you're supposed to decipher that, besides the author telling you that, but you kind of just accept it for what it is, you know? And then I'm not going to spoil the end because it's sad. So I'm going to end it there. If you liked this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I kind of started doing ASMR because I find it kind of fun, honestly. I really didn't care what my content was, but I think making it more focused towards something like ASMR will help give me some direction and goals in mind for what I want to make content-wise. So, with that being said, part 2 will be out sometime. I don't know. I haven't recorded it yet, and I need to go to bed, so part 2 is right here, by the way, on my bookshelf in red. In red. Like this mic. But I'd like to hear your comments. If you're a JoJo fan yourself, welcome. If you're not a JoJo fan, welcome. You should watch it though. I promise you, personally, the first part is like mid, in my opinion. Parts 5, 7, 6, 7, 4, 3, 2. Those are really good. So like every part but one. Part 8 was okay if you read it online, and part 9 is still being made as of this video, but it's peak so far. It might beat part 7. I'm not gonna lie, that might be a hot take. I don't think it is. Part 9 is awesome. So, with that out of the way, thank you all, and I will be back with more of my manga collection, which is just primarily JoJo. It really is only JoJo. I'll show my other books though, so we'll get there. Peace.